Okay, we are live now. Hi everyone. Good evening. How are you doing today? Welcome to Recruiter's Confession once again. And I'm so excited this evening. It's going to be wonderful. We've been having a lot of sections for this month, for last month. Our session was ghosting. We're talking about ghosting, why recruiters ghost candidates, and of course, why candidates ghost recruiters. So, as we all know, it's a confession series. So, we have HR professionals, we have recruiters who will actually be on this session and be confessing secrets or let's say truths, of course. And this month, since the beginning of this month, we're talking about bias and hiring, bias versus fairness of hiring. Uh, we've noticed a kind of bias pattern, especially in recruitment, especially hiring, so hiring in Nigeria, and it has really been a lot of concern. I think my first session was with a job seeker, and he was explaining different stories of how he has experienced bias when it comes to interviews, when it comes to um, recruiters, right? When it comes to even the hiring managers. I think there was a story he mentioned, and he said that he attended the interview, and the lady had to tell him that because he's Igbo, he didn't pass the interview. So I think he has this kind of confident voice. There are some people that have confident voices, and before you know it, because of that, the interviewer just turned the whole thing upside down. So today we are going to continue in that light. However, it's going to be a new dimension because we have a very beautiful guest in our midst. Someone who I respect so much. She's my LinkedIn connect, and I respect her. I see her post and I'd be like, yes, this lady gets it. Right. So I have with me here Ayonfelua. She's an HR professional, a very good HR professional, and she's on point when it comes to people and culture. Hi Ayonfelua. Thanks for joining. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everybody. I am so happy to be here. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Ayofelu Oyedemi, and I am an HR professional that is passionate about building people first workplace. I have worked across HR administration through onboarding, employee engagement, and one thing that I have learned is that fairness in hiring is not just about policy, it's a mindset. So I am really
Sure.
excited to be part of this conversation.
Thank you, Ayefoluwa. Thank you so much. I'm really excited that you are here, to be honest. I literally had to, guys, I literally had to go to a DM and I was like, please, I need you here, because trust me, I so much value our voice, right? When it comes to a LinkedIn post, I say that yes, I think I can sense that passion when it comes to HR, when it comes to people, when it comes to culture, when it comes to recruitment. Like I value her voice so much, and that is why she's here. She's here to actually share her views, share her stories, share her side of the stories, share her perspectives about bias, about fairness when it comes to hiring. Because at some point, I had to think about it. Do we just accept that everybody is biased? Like, let's just accept it that we are human, so everybody should will move on with whatever comes in, right? But then at some
Mhm.
point, we be like, at some point I was like, no, because we are professionals, right? And there is this diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging rule that we are going against. And if we are not careful, right, we could lose judgment of the right fit for a particular role. Imagine if we allow our judgment or our human judgment to just cloud the competence we are looking for in a candidate when it comes to hiring. That's a lot of work. After 3 months, and you just realize that you hired the wrong person, that is going to be really, really daunting. Right. So this session for today, we are going to be speaking on bias in hiring, but then we are going to be be throwing questions to Ayanfelua. So Ayanfelua, get ready. There are some questions I have here for you. And these
Okay.
questions are actually from candidates, they're actually from people who care about the hiring process. But then it's for us to be able to, um, how do I put it? We tackle these questions one after the other. And from your perspective, from my perspective, and we decide on what do we think is right for us as HR or as hiring manager when it comes to recruitment. So let's jump to the first question. My first question, I would like you to just share a story of a time where you've actually experienced bias, either as a candidate, because of course this session we are speaking for candidates as well, and we are speaking for recruiters. Right? So either as a candidate or as an HR professional, run us through a time where you've experienced that bias and you can see, you can say, ah, this is it. This is bias in play, right? So we'd like to hear your story. Can you share a story with us?
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to say first is bias is not always intentional, actually, but is always impactful, because most times bias does not come from like a bad intent. It doesn't come from a
Mm,
place of like, okay, I want to do dirty, but it actually comes from familiarity. When we learn
mm,
towards what feels comfortable for us. Okay, I would share a story that I can remember one time I was screening a CV while I was interning the very first time I joined HR. And
yeah.
I almost skipped one CV because I felt that, oh, it looks very different. Like,
Mm,
and most time, one of the things I've come to discover is that many a times we recruiters, we like to check, okay, what school did this person finish from? What university? What
true,
gender? What accent? Oh, what about the
true,
interview? Are they speaking well? Or even their writing
true.
style, probably when they're doing maybe test or something or assessment. But during that time, but after I was like, okay, let me just look at this CV. But after reading it, it turned out that the person was really the most qualified. And that moment like reminded me that sometimes bias often hide what we call instinct. Our instinct is what it is that brings out, because we already have something programmed. Maybe we have a lot of talent pool that want to take form, and then we're
Mm,
feeling like, oh, I just want to get this done fast. And we just see the first to 10 more, we just pick and say, well, the others can rest. So that's what I would
curious.
call, yes, about bias with that.
Mm. I think this is, you see why I like to invite people, guys, because I feel this is just a new perspective. Last week we didn't even stretch to this. This is a new perspective, and I think I'm beginning to see in that light that yes, what you say is actually correct. I agree with you. So next question: have you caught yourself judging a candidate too quickly and you later realized that you were wrong? Maybe there was a time you were interviewing a candidate and maybe from the first I have done before, let me share my story. And I agree with
Okay.
you. Sometimes bias is always how do I put it? It's not always intentional. Like it's not like we enter the interview room and we'll be like, today I must be biased, right? So sometimes it's just instincts and we just look at it and say, are we sure? That kind of thing. So let me share a story of a time where I was hiring for a software developer, and to be honest, it was not intentional. But that first instinct of, oh, a software developer should actually, there was a way the guy looked and talked that I'm like, are you sure you can do this job? That first impression was, are you are you sure you can do this? Are you sure you are looking like this? I don't want to describe. If I describe it, I'm being biased. If I describe, right? If I describe, I'm being biased, right? Because maybe I can describe off camera, but right now I may not
Okay.
be able to describe. But there was a way the guy looked and he was speaking, and at that point, the first 5 minutes, I was not listening to. Can you run me through your experience? I was not listening to that. I was not listening to how can we know you. I was just looking at him and looking at the correlation between how he looks and the job he's going to do. Like, can this guy actually do the job with this way he looks like this? Like, how is he going to do? And at that point, I think even after the interview, I had to sit and I started doing the scorecard and everything. Then I allowed my buyers, which we call halo effect, to actually determine that this guy is not good for the role. Now, what happened was, now he now became the one we later hired because he became the
Wow.
most competent candidate. Because at some point we now started doing assessments. So we called him for assessments and he did excellently well in the assessments. He became like one of the best software developers at that time when we later hired him.
Wow.
So yeah, so in my mind, I didn't tell anybody. I was not the only hiring manager. I had my program manager, I had the engineering manager.
It.
But then I couldn't like open my mouth to say, actually, you see this guy. I once had this mindset or this impression about this guy. It was at the end of the whole thing. I'm not like, this guy is doing excellently well. Very calm, very culture fit, very competent person. And I was like, wow. Imagine if I was the only one hiring this guy. Trust me, I would not hire him. Now, sometimes we lose great candidates. So tell us, have you ever been in that position where you just judge a candidate too quickly and you be like, this one will never get this job?
Okay, yes. I think as you were talking, I just went down memory lane. I think that there was a time that we were hiring for like an accountant, and then while I was
Mm,
like, this was even like a virtual one, first of all, and while we
yeah.
were talking, and we have people that have like all these H factors, R factors, and all of that, and I
Yes,
felt like,
yes,
oh, an accountant, you're not supposed to have all of this. And then the way he appeared, and that's why I always tell people like your appearance matters. You are going for an interview, you
yeah,
need to like double up, like do extra things. Don't just
yes.
look, because we are human beings. And I tell people, that before you became a recruiter and HR professional, you are a human being.
Human
We are
first.
moved by what we see and what it is that we
Mm-hmm.
hear. So he was talking, and I was hearing a lot of our factor, and I'm like, oh God, are we sure this man is good? Because we're hiring for a big company, and I felt that this man is going to be like answering questions, going to be the one in the front and all of that. I was just really
Mm,
skeptical. But then he funny how is that, we didn't later hire him, but it was good. It was good when it got to the assessment, and I think salary negotiation was the only reason why we had to drop him. But then I just really discovered that, we should not judge a book by its cover. We should actually see them like beyond what it is. But thank God I had other people that were with me, because sometimes we often, as I said earlier, that biases is not that it's not intentional. It's just something
yeah.
instinct. Like human beings say, this one can't do it. But then, so that's one thing that I said, that yes, I have been very very biased. But we're growing and we're learning. So I think that when it comes to IR, we need to put biases aside and then hire properly.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. I think last week too, we had an HR professional who actually spoke to what you said right now concerning um concerning when it comes to recruiters, right? So
Yeah.
if we have recruiters who actually see, and that is why it is, I think it's good when we have other people us for interviews, so that at least if you are having the bias, you'll be able to hear from others and say, okay, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You understand? So he actually mentioned it as for us to be able to curb or manage, because first we are humans, we won't lie about that. So for us to be able to manage that bias or that halo effect that we usually have as humans, we should have other people join us. So you could be the only interviewer maybe for the first stage. Then the second stage you should have other people join you, or maybe if the first stage you can have other people join you too, so that they'll be able to manage that with you, and you'll be able to ask that, okay, if I think this way, what do you guys think? If I think this way, what do you guys think? So hearing from others would actually be able to balance whatever impression you have about that candidate. And also, I think that even as candidates too, they need to work on themselves. I don't know if you're still there. Hi. I follow. Are
Yes,
you
I
still
am.
here?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay. So even as candidates, I think they need to work on themselves, right? Like you have mentioned, when it comes to appearance, like they don't even have to tell you to dress well because you can be good. Like say, "Ah, I'm very good at my job. You can know calculation, you can know how to do financial whatever. But if you're not well dressed, that's it has spoken a lot about you.
What
And
about you? Yeah.
that that has like literally just giving you that. And this one, who is this? Is this one serious about his destiny? Like that's, are you serious about your destiny at all? Are you even, do you even want this job? That kind of thing. So I think from the candidate's perspective, if you're a candidate and you're watching this, you need to be very intentional about interviews or
You
about
are very
recruitment.
intentional.
Yeah, you need to be intentional about recruitment or about interviews when you want to interview for a particular role. Also, I think I am fellow that when it comes to speaking as well, I think candidates too can improve themselves. For
Yeah.
example, yeah, for example, you you as a candidate, you are looking for a customer representative role and you've been in that field for a long time. Imagine as a customer representative, you are having intonation or you are having or you're not speaking fluently. You're not
Yes.
fluent. That could actually, how can I put it? It could actually, for that particular role that you are applying for,
Mhm.
speaking fluently is very
Very
um
important
important. Yes.
and
So I
necessary.
think that
Yeah.
even as candidates, we could improve ourselves. So for us to be able to, curb this bias thing and say, those people they are being biased. That first candidate I was talking about at the beginning of this session, the first candidate who joined me in this session, and it was like, oh, the recruiter said because of my voice, maybe that's why they ghosted me because of my voice. She's being biased. And I had to tell him that when you're in an interview, was it that you yelled at her? Because some people they have natural bold
Yeah.
voices, especially men.
Voices.
I think I have a friend like that. If he
Yeah.
talks to me in his I offer in his normal voice,
Voice.
if he talks to you, you will think he wants to beat you. You will
Oh
think he
my
wants
god.
to beat you up. To be honest, I'm not even lying. You will think he wants to beat you up, like he wants to beat you black and blue. That's his normal voice. Imagine if he now yes, like
Hmm.
that's
Right.
all for you.
That's over.
That's over for you. So in that kind of situation, I had to tell him right on the live that sometimes you need to like tame yourself to improve on yourself as a candidate. So it could literally be that maybe you weren't yelling, but the way you spoke to her, maybe you were just being confident. Some people they say confident, and before you know it, there's a thin line in confidence and arrogance. Before you know it, you are arrogant and you begin to just speak and raise your voice. So it could be that you started raising your voice and she speak it and say, for somebody that will be raising his voice at me for this little thing I said, imagine if we hire him, how is he going to behave? So there are some rules like that includes improvement for. I think candidates really need to improve when it comes to some particular rules. When it comes to your field, you are in your field. You say, "Oh, this is my field, customer service. This is my field, operations officer. This is my field, HR professional." You're an HR professional. I tell you one small thing, and you're already yelling, or you're already, um, you know. Let me tell you a story of there was one interview I was conducting one day, and what was the role? Okay, customer service.
Okay.
And I put out a scenario to her and I told her that if you had a relationship and your guy yelled at you for what you didn't do, How would you react? And she was like, ah, Omo, you can't even try it. You can't even try it.
I think that she forgot that she was having an interview, and you made her comfortable with the question that you were asking her. She didn't
Yes,
expect that it was going to go
exactly.
that way, so she was
Exactly.
just free.
Yes, so that's what I do really. I try to make a candidate very comfortable. So I'm waiting for you to just flop. She was like, oh, you can't even do that. She was in her hand like this. He can't
Uh-uh.
even do that. He can't try it. If he tries it, before she now, I think she now, maybe something now clicked.
Realized.
Like, she was not like, sorry, ma. I'm just saying. Ah, no, I
You're
said it's
just
fine. You said it all.
that's the same way you react to customer. Oh my god.
Exactly. I was like, you've said it all, ma. That was what I said, though. I said, you've said it all. That's all. Like, literally.
Wow.
So at the end of the interview, she was trying to, trying to change my mindset that it's because I asked
About
that is her boyfriend, that if it were a customer that she will have it in her head that it's a customer and she won't yell like that. I said
it's fine.
that's not true. I no, I was about to say it's fine, but at some point, because I'm an advocate for transparency, I now said that that's not true. So it literally means that you could lose your cool at some point.
Yeah.
Yes, you know that it's a customer again, because by the time the thing now reach here for you, you just lose your cool and say,
Just like out. Yeah, of course.
hello ma, don't let me change it for you. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that candidates need to, improve on themselves, especially when it comes to your um your particular field or your course. I mean your course in life now, your particular field or the role you're applying for. You need to improve on yourself. The soft skills that you need to improve, you need to improve on yourself. And yeah, you are very, very correct. So on to the next question. I would ask that, okay, somebody actually sent me this. The person
Okay.
said that candidates often complain that they never get feedback after interviews. So, in your own opinion, what do you think stop HR professionals from being transparent? And how do you think we can fix it? Because I
Hmm.
think that's really, really, that's a very big issue.
Yes, it is. And to be honest, it's a very valid concern. And
Mm,
honestly, it is one of the biggest points that I have seen. I've even had a, like, how will I put it? I have been a victim before about it. And most
mm,
times the silence is not because the recruiter does not care. Because I've just
yeah,
actually realized that okay. And one thing I want to say out first is that candidates should stop beating themselves up by it.
mm,
Whatever it is that they feel is valid. And what the problem that we recruiters do, the mistake that we make is the fact that
yeah,
we make these people think that oh they didn't do well during their interviews. Okay, let me
mm,
share one scenario. The time I did an interview and then it was for a remote hybrid job. And then the
yeah,
woman was like, oh, she liked me and all of that. That okay, she's going to get back to me on it. And then after she sent me a mail that oh she saw move forward. So thank God I had a WhatsApp number. So I texted her to say,
mm,
Ma, was there any part where she was like, no. And they were actually looking for somebody that had experience in a particular sector. Was the reason why I did not meet up. So then I just actually realized sometimes it's not about you, it's not you. It could
yeah,
be the hiring process. It could be maybe a particular thing that maybe failed with that. So that's
yeah,
that on that. But so most times the silence is not because the recruiter does not care. It's because that the
mm,
hiring process move fast or
mm,
that either managing like multiple roles at once. Because maybe
mm,
now an HR professional you have about 3 to 5 roles to close and then you cannot be
mm,
writing mails to every one of them. You can't be
yeah,
doing that, especially when you don't have like an automated emails. Do you get? So you cannot be doing all of
yes,
that. Is why most times, but that does not make it okay. It does not make it perfect because it would be bad to if we too as a recruiter were trying to like maybe look for a job and then we did interviews, several interviews, and then we're not getting feedback. I don't know if you get
yes,
me, but
mm-hmm,
see, feedback it could even be brief. it is part of fairness. That's one thing about it in hiring process. It helps
Mm,
candidates to improve, help them to even rebuild their confidence, especially when they are
confident.
prepared and they waited. Because see, the waiting aspect of interview is really, I don't know, like it
Honest.
makes
I've
people,
been in
it
that
makes people
position before.
anxious. Yes, it makes people anxious and it makes people like
Be
build a
honest.
lot of low self confidence. But it's like, what did I do
Mm-hmm.
wrong? What did I know? But I answered your question, answer. But I just feel that feedback is a way of like making them say, okay, yes, they could improve, they could do better. And personally, I believe that every candidate deserves closure. Even a simple message like, oh, thank you for your time, we have moved forward with another candidate, can make a big difference. At least they are aware that, okay,
Exactly.
okay, I think there's a particular complaint that if I see their job application, like maybe they put out a job post, I don't apply to it. I don't, even my friends send it
I
to me
think
that, oh,
I have one too.
I don't apply to it. Because like I remember
Me
that then
too.
I was writing CIPM exam and she begged me that, oh please let me quickly do your interview before you go for your exam. It was early in the morning, oh, and I was like, okay, I'll just give you 5 minutes because we've done the first, the second, this was the third one. And after that, I was
Mm,
just like, okay, I am I think the hiring manager herself was going to interview me. I was like, okay, that took about maybe 4 weeks extra. I did.
mm.
And the man just asked, oh, how old are you? Do you live with your parents? I answered those questions. What school do you go? Just that three questions was what she asked me. And then, till today, this is the second time they're doing it. I didn't hear anything from them. And every time, maybe any of my friends want to apply to that complaint, I just tell them no. Don't try it. You will
Don't
not
do
get
it.
feedback.
Don't
Like,
try
and these
it.
people don't understand that their reputation is not
Of
is
course.
do you get, so it's like it's
Of
not,
course.
so for recruiters to actually even give feedback, it's not just kindness, it's just a brand reputation. As I said, that company now, nobody want to apply, and them, they might not know on the long run, they feel that, oh, they're just doing it, but there's be a particular day that they could do it like about 10 people, and those 10 people will stand against them, and it's like 100 people at once. So it just really
Mm-hmm.
shows like professionalism, respect for people effort and for candidates. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that somebody on LinkedIn posted how it is that, I think that like posted on how somebody texted and was like, oh, the interview did not hold, and was like, why? He said, oh, the recruiter was not in the mood. And I was, as far as my stomach was paining me, I'm like, what do you mean you're not in the mood?
In the mood.
You're not in the
Should
mood, but
you
you're in the mood
should
to,
you even say that? Should you even open your mouth to say that you're not in the mood?
you're not in the mood. As a recruiter, you came to the office. This, let us say that this person is living maybe somewhere far, wasted his ticket to come to the island, and then you're saying you're not in the mood, but you get paid. And people don't understand that this thing is about, is their brand. They're just spoiling the
There's some
brand
things you
image
don't
of the
even
company.
say.
We don't
There's some
say
things you
as a
can't even say.
recruiter.
You're not in the mood.
So, and for the candidates, for
My
candidates, I
God.
would just say that do not take silence as failure. I tell myself all that all the time, because
Mm,
if there's somebody that has been ghosted, I have been ghosted so many times, and I know how I felt. I know how it is that people too will feel. So don't see it as a failure. Sometimes the decision had nothing to do with your ability. It's just timing. Because sometimes there could be some job that they close without even hiring. You might say, oh, there's no need for this. It's not the recruiter fault.
no,
I don't know
anymore.
if you get me. So,
Sure.
but I just feel that as recruiter, even if it's short, it just shows that we respect these people, we respect
Very
that time.
simple.
Because at times, I even recruiter, we delay candidates. You said 2 o'clock, you're not getting there until 2:05, and then after you do 45 minutes interview, and then you're ghosting them. It's not really a nice thing. So I'll just really employ people that everybody, recruiters, to always show at least a sign of like, thank you, okay, we are moving forward with, we regret to reform. It's
Yeah.
better, really, really better than just keeping people waiting and they're hoping is dash, and yeah.
To be honest. See, you just reminded me of one experience I had as a candidate. Trust me, I don't want to mention the name of the company
Please don't mention.
because that day I had you know the kind of interview you will have and your mind will just be sweet as a candidate though. Your
Mm-hmm.
mind will just be sweet that these people they will hire me
This is going
tomorrow.
well. Uh-huh.
You know that you tomorrow and the guy even said the interview one of the interviewers were like you are saying the right things, Jane. You are saying it. And my mind was like,
Ah, this is
tomorrow these people
perfect.
will just call me and say, please
Resume.
resume. Do you know that I had to wait once?
Wow.
There was nothing from after the interview. We'll get back to you. There was nothing from them.
That's
I was
really
just
bad.
hoping from that interview, I was like, okay, I did well now. They said that I said the right things. I said the right things. They,
So they should reach out to me.
they should reach out to me. They should get back to me. And that was how I said first week, second week, third week. Hey, I had to now message and send an email. Like, I've not heard anything. What did I say? Oh, that's true.
Ah,
The guy literally
can you
said,
imagine?
the guy literally puts like, oh, that's true as email. Oh,
Mm-mm.
that's true. We cannot move forward with you. We've moved on with this thing. It was not like I
Ah.
can connect on LinkedIn. I went to check him on LinkedIn. I said, me connect with you.
Oh my god.
The air
Oh,
country they even tell me that I can connect on LinkedIn after putting, oh, that's true.
that's true.
That's true.
That's
Really.
that's even a red flag, a red walking flag.
Imagine. Like so
Oh,
I
that's true.
think no, it's a lot. It's a lot. Somebody actually I don't know, and there was a point I had to call a candidate for an interview. I already sent this thing and I'll call to the candidate. Say the interview, did you see the email I sent to you? Say, "Ah, I saw the email, but after the interview now, you people will not get back to somebody.
Hmm.
What's the essence of attending the I was just weak.
Abi,
I just weak. Like,
because
don't
because
worry,
maybe she
we'll
has
give
seen
you
shege
feedback.
for me. She has seen shege for me.
Shaggy, a
Shege
lot.
banter. She's not just interested, and it's valid.
Shaggy, a
To
lot.
be honest, it's valid.
It is. It is. Do you know that that day I had to just tell her, don't worry, me, I will give you feedback. I won't ghost you. When she
Ah,
attended the interview, after the interview, and I asked her, like, what has been your experience? Why did you
left
yeah,
that
if she
city.
start story, if she start telling me the story that we won't live here. She can say that 99% of the interviews she has attended or the applied for, she didn't get feedback.
Feedback. Ah,
And I was like, no. So when candidates start ghosting us as recruiters, we now start posting it on LinkedIn and saying they're not. So it's a lot. Let's just
serious.
move on from this. So my next question is: if you could change something in today's hiring process, what do you think is going to be?
Hmm. If I could change something, I think that I would change the fact that I'm trying to gather my thoughts so that
Yeah.
because I've thought of this before that if I want to change something, it could be the fact that um the like how we communicate to candidates, to be honest,
Mm,
especially after most especially assessment. I think that um sometimes last year after I think okay after my NYC. So I did this
yeah.
graduate training program, and then we had to do assessment the first round. The second round we did another one, and then the third round was we had to go to the office to their
Yeah.
complaint, and they told us we are going to spend the whole day there. That we should not worry about our food. We're supposed to get there by 8:30. And then we
Yeah.
didn't start. So they shared us into different clusters. So in my cluster, we were about 10, where we did several stages of the interview. There was more of the one that we did like a group study, we did the one that they were observing us, we went to
Mm,
another stage, and then and what I found out was the fact that after the interview there was and it's a very popular company now, like to be honest. And I just realized that they just used us to get what will I call this, like answers to some issues that they were facing. I don't know, like
let's
that some
see.
they have to
Oh
like
my god.
they ask you like, okay, if you are a head of sales, because it's a graduate training, do you get? And
Mm,
is you have to do with all departments. Okay, we are the head of
mm.
sales, or you are working under the sales department. The engineering department need a sample of this and this and this. What is something that you will do? And
What would
that
you
day I
do?
used
Mm.
the whole day. I was the last person to present because after that we did a presentation, PowerPoint presentation,
Ah,
and then God, because I was like, okay, this thing is real. Then after we're done, they were like, okay, they're going to send us a what they call personality test assessment. In my head, I'm like, wala will leave by. But then I did it. I
there's
did it.
after how many
Af-
hours?
see, to be honest, I think that sometimes even not having a job is a job itself because you're searching
Hey,
for.
God.
It's just a lot. And after
Sorry.
that time, if I tell you that till now, I didn't get. I said
Ah,
I met okay. There's somebody I met that we're talking. So I collected his number and I was asking, was like, "Ha, him too. I thought got time. Fair. I don't know. I just told him. I said, see, I think it's best that we just move on out of it and just
hmm,
forget about it." And something like that happened to one of my friends too. This one is even all this oil and gas, a very popular one like that. In fact, he went to Abuja for the screening and all of that. Till today, Tumishi has not heard anything. But I asked Tumishi after these people be like, I feel that I waste my flight money. I can't imagine. You
ah,
wasted flight money to go to Abuja and nothing was said. So one thing I would really love to improve is how to communicate with candidates, especially after the assessment or interviews. Because too often, I'll say that hiring process most times feels one-sided because candidates invest their time, their energy, their
yeah,
hope.
the
Sometimes
energy,
even them don't
yes.
even do fasting and prayer. Like because I don't think I did an interview and then she was it was obvious that it was in the morning, but it was obvious that she was panicking. And then
Hmm,
I was like, okay, she should calm down and until like she had to take water for her to breathe. Then after that, I started talking, and after the interview, I was just was like, that she has just been open and praying and all of that. That every time that she does interview, she doesn't get feedback, and this one she's just giving her last strength with it. I was like, I really
hmm,
sympathize with her because I understand to a degree because
of
Hmm.
course.
Some people have done me dirty too, but I think that's why
We've
we
all
are
been
here
there,
so that we can
of
correct those
course.
mistakes. And I just believe that fairness is not just about who gets selected. It's about how you treat others who doesn't. Like
That's,
giving clear
yes.
timelines. Let's be transparent. And that's one thing. I'll be really be transparent with updates. Even if it's just simply feedback that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm rooting for you. It's as simple as that. You don't have to. And sometimes even all these automated emails too at times is good, but and sometimes it's not also good because some people just feel that what do you mean? It looks okay. There was a day that a an HR firm made a mistake, so they wanted to send a an automated rejection mail. So he didn't know. He instead of blind copying, he just copied everybody, and then we
So
could see that
you
he
could
now
see
sent it.
others.
We could see others, and then the others were now responding. You know that if others are responding, you get the notification. So they were responding. So after so I was in the area because me, I don't respond. Well, it's just few people that would just say, okay, can you, especially if it's not automated. So as long as it was automated, I didn't respond. So people were responding. And all of a sudden, I saw another email sending it to me and like six other people that we passed. And I'm like, shall we serious? Shall we got
I'm
that?
serious.
I was like, I was like, you wouldn't know what you're doing. So
Oh my
I did
God.
not bother to, I didn't even bother to respond because it just shows how it is that they are not transparent. It shows how it is that they just did it anyhow that they like. So it most times turn out to be very disappointing. And I would want to change it to
Yeah.
a very respectful one because at the end of the day, every candidate you reject is still a potential brand ambassador.
Sure.
I think also I was talking to my friend that is also in HR today, and she was talking about how it is that some companies. I don't know. I think I'm deviating away from this, but it's just something that I really want us to talk about because
Mm,
we're talking about brand, and that sometimes that some people they apply for a job and then they're saying that they cannot take the salary, and you feel that oh people job seekers are very desperate. You now hire the people that are ready to collect that your slow shikini
mm,
budget. She was not telling me that one thing that they don't know is that they are still going to go back to that talent pool that just that people that accept maybe the bare minimum that you have to offer them. They're just doing the job because they need the money. They're not doing
mm.
it because they want you to see results. They just want to
They
oh,
don't know
yeah,
anything.
for the meantime. And in 3 months or in 6 months, they're back again, spending
I'm
money
back
on
again on that same
I don't know
road.
how much they spend on hiring. I'm like, you people,
Hmm.
so that's that. We just really should change ourselves. It's just easy when it comes to that salary. I just feel like we should just, as HR professional, as recruiters, we need to be very transparent. We need to be very like, let's just do it without ordering or trying to say you are saving because if you are not saving, I mean, look at how everybody wants to work in flutterways, cowrise,
Of
Pampe,
course.
all of them because they see that okay, when it comes to the hiring, they're very transparent. So I just really hope that we learn from it, honestly.
Honestly, to be honest, in fact, like you've said a lot. You said, especially that last point that you gave. There was one
Yeah.
company. I remember there was one company I worked. I worked in this company for just 2 months,
Hmm.
and I did that because I don't know. God help us in this country,
Amen.
please. Some employers, why are they like this?
Oh,
Okay, now you called me, you hired me as a recruiter. They put people for you, sales people. You are now saying that I should not hire somebody who is hungry. You don't
ah,
want people that are hungry. You want people that have passion for the role. I said that one is English, no
nah,
wahala.
so.
We hire people, right? Good fit, we
Oh my
hire.
God.
Then they started coming. They're now asking the HR to prepare a document that they must meet 6
It's a
million
target.
targets in a
That's a
week.
lot.
In 1 week. 6 million in 1 week.
Oh,
Then you now come. That's what I'm saying because you have not given me the reaction I'm looking for. 6 million in one
please, how
week.
much is that salary, first of all?
Then salary is 250 to
Nah,
300K
uh,
for
okay,
salespeople.
fair. So you're saying that somebody that
250
is going
to
to be bringing
300.
someone is going to be bringing 6 million every month, every week.
No,
They're
now
going to be
wait,
getting
oh,
250.
it has not even finished. That salary now is now hinged on your performance,
Hmm.
which means that if you do not make that 6 million in 1 week, your salary is doing like this.
One shake.
It has epilepsy. And
Epilepsy.
so when
Oh
it now
God.
comes to onboarding, she'll now be explaining. She'll be the one to say she wants to onboard. That's fine. She'll now be explaining that if you come in and you not make 6 million in 1 week, you won't be giving salary. It means that you must make that 6 million in 1 week first. At least make 4 million. Then we'll now
Uh-uh.
give you like
The
70%
salary.
of your salary just to
Uh-uh.
cut it like that. She now started making people sign. See, there are some things that
Ah,
at that point, I was like, everything in this company just go against. I first went to meet her that man, let's not do it this way. This is not the way they used to do it. I called HR. HR, talk now. There are some things that we
KDH
need
of
to do.
Vector. KDH of Vector. If you see, will you say anything?
HR, now one is just signing policy, just writing policy.
Ìyá oníyàá mi, bàbá oníbàbá. What do you want them to say? It's ridiculous.
Like, this is funny. It is
Very
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Like, what are you with 6 million in 1 week? You don't even give people time to readjust in the role and to say, okay, let us
Hey,
see how.
six
Like, this is
million.
not fair. Then she now mentioned something. She said I should hire 200 people in 1 month. I
Hmm?
said, no, wala. 200 people, Abby. No,
In
wala.
1 month.
By the time, I swear, I'm not even exaggerating. By the time see, I've had the experiences. Sometimes I will just go on LinkedIn, like, I will just walk and I write on LinkedIn because it's just too much.
There's a lot. I think I should be dishing them out once in a while.
Seriously,
Happy Olukan
like,
Bolola should.
honestly, 200 people in 1 month, no wala. First week, I already hired 40 salespeople. So because of the policy and all of those things, people now, people started dropping that 6 million is
Pause.
too much in 1 week
It's
to
ridiculous.
make. People now started dropping. And I told her that, ma, people are dropping. Apart from the fact that it's affecting my own KPI, let's put
Mm-hmm.
that one aside. People are dropping. And that is because of the policy that we have. Let us readjust and all of that. Imagine what she said.
What did
She
she
was
say?
like,
I'm surprised.
Jane, Jane, Nigerians are looking for jobs. You will
Eh,
see people. You will see people. People, people are looking for jobs. If you go out there, it's like you don't know how to recruit, or you don't know your job. You don't know. This is why you do your eye.
That's the
I
mistake
just,
that I made.
hey God, I pray she even watch this session because she will know that I'm talking to her. People are looking for
Ma,
jobs
change
in
your
Nigeria.
ways in case you come
Nigerians
across
are
it.
looking for jobs. Like, why would you say that? So because
That's
Nigerians are
true.
looking for jobs, you want to rope them, tie their neck
And
and
enslave
squeeze it.
them. That's
Why?
enslavement.
To be honest, like it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think that is why we have I think we need to have like more sessions like this where we just we
Yeah.
just talk about these things. And I feel like the more we talk about it, the more people just realize that no, like this doesn't work.
Yes. And do you know the funniest thing is that they are forgetting that they're not talking to millennial, all those generation. They're talking to Gen Z. Any small thing, they cannot
Exactly.
feed us. I think I was talking to one of my teenagers in church one time, and she was like, "Ah, I'm telling you, fair. I think that this life we take it too hard because you see when you go
To
to
be
school,
honest,
when you finish, what's the end of everything?" She was saying it too, and it just made me realize that to what end? Because you see some people that when they are finished working after like 3 years, 4 years, they just go to the village, start doing one small petty trading business, and before you know, it, they're just sleeping, waking up, eating.
honestly,
Somebody like
yeah,
to what end? And you forget that they're saying that because Nigeria need jobs, so because you need job, you should enslave people.
to enslave people.
Many people are resign. One of my friend, we finished secondary school together. So I saw a story on Instagram where she says she's resigning. So I was like, do you get a new job? She was like, no. I was like, what's going on? She was like, she's tired. She's just done. I'm like,
That's
do you
it.
have another job? She said no, that she just wants to chill. I told her like, it's valid. Omojolade, enjoy yourself. It's very
That's
valid.
it.
Don't bother. Like you don't need to shall anything. I understand. So we get
That's it. It's not like before people would
people will just
say, I need to keep my job. What we like. So people
I
now they
cannot kill
value
somebody.
peace. Let me just have peace. To be
Many
honest.
people are that's the thing. Many people are coming up to be their CEO themselves. People are coming up to
Of
be their
course.
like they don't want to go
Supporting.
through what they went through. Like it's really, really terrible. I think a guy on TikTok was sharing something how it is that 9 to 5 is a no go area. So he was sharing that one of their colleagues was very sick and then
Mm,
he was working on a project for about 3 months. And so in the
yeah.
hospital, their boss went to the hospital. They just said, "Oh, what is your password to your laptop?" Do you get? And the job, and the boss got the job done. He finished the job, and the guy died. And you know, that
Mm,
nobody went to go and greet his parents. Nobody knows his house. Nobody knows anything. And then I don't even. I think one of the maybe the other boss was not like, does anybody know so so so? So now went to bring out his file. So they saw his address. So they gave somebody. Now gave his next of kin like money that they contributed to work.
yeah.
Guess what the next of kin used the money to do?
What?
He went to play sports. He went to play sporty bets with his other money. So is it wait to tell you that if it was not like in that same company, the guy he has HMO, he didn't use it. He was falling sick. He had so
Ah,
many things, and he was not. I don't tell people that you need to prioritize your mental health, prioritize your well-being first, because you are replaceable. Everybody is. Today you can just
everybody.
wake up and the company is saying, "Oh, I don't want you anymore," but you're just waking up.
Hmm.
Somebody is saying, so it's like everybody just really needs to take care of yourself. And that's what this generation are doing. They're prioritizing themselves. So if any hiring manager is saying, oh, people are looking for a job, there are plenty. My dear, some people prefer to just stay at home and not
Hmm.
do anything. Their parents are taking care of
Most
them.
people
They're
will say,
okay.
I'm
Uh,
not doing. I'm loved at home.
I'm loved at I'm loved at home.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh my
oh my
god.
god.
Oh my god. So this section has really been insightful. Thank you so much, Ayofe. This is 7:52. We've gone beyond time. Thank you so much,
I'm
Ayofe,
so
for
happy to be very fun.
joining. To be honest, it's fun because I feel like yes, we need to always talk about these things. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this session. And we are still, I
Yes.
think, still next week we still have another session on this same topic next week. Thank you so much, Ayofe, for joining me. We are going to see in the other room.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
There's no problem.
Join
Thank
us
you.
next
Bye.
same time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.